Welcome back to Deep Thought. We're going through Sonic Adventure 2, and hey, this looks familiar.
Yeah, we sort of see now that the stuff we've seen up to this point was sort of like a prequel prologue sort of thing to what we then see in the hero story. It's kind of just sort of disjointed timeline sort of thing, but I like seeing these cutscenes here on both sides because it helps you piece together where the wider, like how it goes in the wider scheme of things.
Yeah, that feeling kind of lasts for 10 seconds until you realize you have to watch the same cutscene again.
True, but
yeah.
I mean, what I will give Adventure 1 a bit of credit for is that it seems like all the repeated cutscenes in that game are sort of like each character's interpretation of the story. So you get to see slightly different cutscenes each time. Like Tails tends to big himself up in like cutscenes where in Sonic's story it was just Sonic doing all the talking and things like that. But here it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Well, at least we don't get to see the ending where he gets captured by all the police. But in any case, now it's time for another Rouge stage. Oh god damn.
Whoop-de fucking do.
Yeah. Welcome to the Egg Quarters, everyone. This is Death Chamber, but worse.
This has got an annoying gimmick that just... Personally, I tend to just ignore them things. Like, I get a handful of rings and run past them, and if they shoot me, fuck it. But I can see if you are the more careful type who wants to just, like, not take hits and stuff, then I can see how that thing would really get on your nerves after a while if you got to be careful while you're playing.
Yeah. Is there any way to escape that thing?
Or stand still in the shadows.
Ah, okay.
That's pretty much it. Either that or run away from it. Either way, it slows you down dramatically.
You can say that about 10 more times.
Yeah. Or you can hide underwater, that works too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't think that means... Blech. Never mind.
No. It's in this part here that when you're playing through the story, you can get the sort of... I think... Is it the dig in this level?
Yes, I think it is. Or
yeah, it is because it's Mad Space where you get the kick boots in it, so...
Yeah. Except this time it's nails. She gets nails.
Yeah.
Because she's a girl. That makes sense. Yeah, as you can see, I kind of had a little trouble trying to get this one, and of course it's in the same place as it was in Death Chamber. God damn. I like the music, though. I like music.
Yeah, I'm neither here nor there with this song, I think. I don't remember it when I'm not listening to it, so it's not going to be like one of my favourite level themes, but
yeah.
It is what it is, really.
Can we just kind of go over how Rouge's walk cycle looks incredibly stupid?
Yeah, it's hard to describe exactly what's wrong with it, but it doesn't look right.
It looks like she's just... It looks like she should be kind of frolicking, except it's just kind of sped up incredibly fast when she's running. It doesn't look right.
I get what you mean. It's like the animation in itself was made for a gentle walk, and then they just didn't make a run animation separately, so it's just like the same thing. And yeah, this looks really fiddly and annoying.
Oh yeah, this last key was a bitch. Like the freaking camera and the key's floating. Might as well point that out as well. Anytime the objectives or things you're trying to get are floating or are not standing still, just no, fuck off with that. Get away, get that out of my house.
Looks awful.
There we go.
Yeah, just gotta fiddle around until you get it. Ugh.
It happened.
Just noticed something. How come Extra Lives use the Chaos Emerald theme in the modern games?
How is that?
I don't know.
Because in the classics they had
know.
like separate, songs where you get an extra life, but now they just use the do 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 do.
I don't really pay attention to it, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's a space transport.
So there's this portal right here is supposed to send you to the Ark, right?
Hmm.
That space colony
How?
shut
I don't know. They never show it. They only show it just kind of vibrating, and then the cutscene ends.
Doesn't matter.
Like, every time someone uses that.
What he's up to.
Well, that would require more special effects.
Good point.
And it'd have to cut out the part where it accidentally warps you to Aperture Science. You can't be having that.
Now it's time for Lost Colony, another Eggman stage. And
Yeah, I don't like this level.
I like the music.
I don't like this because it's just so bloody dark. It's like there's certain parts that are just really obnoxious to make out what's happening.
It's not as bad in the later versions.
Yeah, I just like a lot of my time was spent with the Dreamcast one, where it's
Oh, right.
really it gets really muddy and you can't quite make out what's
Yeah,
what, and you're
exactly.
getting hit by things that don't really spawn in soon enough.
yeah, the darkness never bothered me that much. I mean, I honestly really couldn't tell if that was the gimmick or if it was just there because they just wanted it to be special or something. I don't know.
Well, you notice every time you shoot something, it gets a little bit brighter, so that's the kind of gimmick they were going for in this level. I just don't like things that arbitrarily make the game harder to play. It's like darkness, it's just inhibiting your vision, which makes it frustrating rather than challenging. It's a similar sort of
Yeah.
thing with how I don't like certain ice physics, because it's like your gimmick is making the control worse.
Yeah.
They're just things that sort of annoy me rather than challenge me, really.
Yeah, well, this is the level where you get the hover thing for Eggman, finally.
Yeah.
So that kind of alleviates the problem a little bit, so it gives you enough time to maybe kind of get the enemies down, which, if you do that, that turns on the lights.
Yeah, and you get like a little bit of chance to save yourself. It's not often, but if you sort of get a bit too close, then you can just sort of hover back.
Yeah. Still, now that you point out the darkness, I really don't know why the outside of this place is dark. Isn't this where space is?
By the looks of it, there's walls around the edge, so this might just sort of be a bigger room.
Probably.
But it is a little bit ambiguous as to where space is, really. Like the arc, we see it's fairly big from the outside, but it doesn't look big enough to have all of this shit. Especially when you consider how much stuff there is in and around the arc in Shadow the Hedgehog as well.
What was the arc like in Shadow the Hedgehog?
It's a lot of these sections look quite similar to, you know, Final Rush, Final Chase, some kinds of levels. They're the sort of outside sections. The inside sections are flat out bollocks. I think I made a comment about it earlier on in the playthrough, but one of the most infamous levels is the Lost Impact level, where you have to go and shoot.
Yeah.
I think it's 35 of the artificial chaos monsters.
The Doom is
And-
also pretty bad.
Yeah, that's like the opposite route equivalent of it, isn't it? Oh, there's
Yeah.
Big, by the way. But yeah, there's a lot of going backwards and forwards. Like, my fastest run of Lost Impact is 19 minutes. And for a Sonic level, like, fuck that noise. I want to be done in like 3.
God, yeah, I watched a review of Shadow the Hedgehog that basically said all the levels are good except Lost Impact. And
I would
yeah.
debate all the levels are good part.
Yeah.
Like, the other levels aren't as bad, I'll put it that way, but the mission thing feels really, I
Stupid.
guess, forced. Yeah, like,
yeah, arbitrary.
yeah, I don't want to be going around slowly looking around, like, sort of looking for things to kill. It really destroys the pace, and giving Shadows a fast character, it just feels like really counterintuitive. Like, they really cancel each other out. Like, having a fast character and a slow level, like, no mate, I'm not down with that.
Yeah, as you can see here, getting a lot of points. We're going to be seeing even more points, especially with the next couple of Eggman stages.
Yes.
Yeah.
The next one in particular.
Oh, yeah. And now we get an incredibly long, almost 5-minute cutscene.
Wonderful.
Time to
God.
fall asleep.
Hey, here's another question. How did Shadow get here?
Chaos.
Well, he's got the chaos control, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
And like this is his one main distinct memory, isn't it? Like the space colony arc. That's like all he really knows. So I guess I'll give him credit for this one.
Yeah. Exposition time.
The exposition is at least somewhat justified by the fact that Shadow and Eggman have only recently got to know each other. It's not the typical exposition thing of, let me just explain my family's life story to my little brother. Like, you're getting a lot of like things.
Yeah. Why did you throw that?
Because I gotta look cool. Shadow tends to just favour the green one, because I'm pretty sure it's the green one he has in the Sonic Heroes Team Dark, Team Blast as well, isn't it?
Probably.
Because that in itself causes like a bit of a continuity fuck up, because Shadow has that green Chaos Emerald even after you, even like before you unlock any Chaos Emeralds.
Also, Eggman here, half the time he looks like he's talking normally, but the other half it looks like his mouth is gonna become detached from his face. It's like
Okay, I have one like problem with Dr. Eggman here. I don't think he'd want to destroy the whole planet.
Do you really think it
Because he wants to build Robotnik Land, the ultimate city where I will rule it all.
Well, I think what's going on now, more than him actually intending to destroy it,
Threaten
is just
people.
just have the threat. Like that's
Well,
what
he
the
could
whole
threaten
thing
them.
about.
Couldn't he just say, I have all the Chaos Emeralds?
may have with a master
He could do, but wouldn't you want a badass fucking laser thing, like a big cannon?
I suppose so. So I guess Rouge here is going along with the whole, oh, let's go destroy the Earth, because why not? Gotta stay undercover.
Lots of shots of people just staring blankly.
These cutscenes are so awkward.
I just find it amusing how it's not quite as bad here, I don't think, as in SO1, but the lip syncing is basically they didn't try.
Oh god, they fucked that up so badly.
Now we decide to move our squad meeting to somewhere more public because that's a good idea.
Well, it's in the middle of the jungle, so I guess it's secluded somewhat.
Yeah, but I would argue that a space station is a little bit more secluded. I like the animation of his mech just sort of bounces up and down constantly. It's never stationary.
Yeah.
Eggman
And-
Bomb Bomb.
What's this whole idea? Like, why does he want to blow up the island again? Is it just to get rid of all the evidence?
I'm not entirely sure.
Or maybe he just likes really badly pre-rendered explosions.
It looks cool, yeah.
And now we get three series of missions from, respectively, Eggman, Rouge, and Shadow. First up is Eggman, and honestly, I really like this level. This is a lot of fun.
It's a switch your brain off and shoot stuff level, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
Well,
Yeah.
sort of. As you can see here, there are a ton of turned off robots,
Sure.
decommissioned or something.
Aw.
But the strategy here is obviously you got to get a lot of points if you want to get the A rank. But like destroying all the robots in one go, you'll get that perfect score, like the extra points. But there's enough robots to like do that multiple times, because again, the limit for the perfect rank, perfect score is like 11, right?
I remember hearing number 14, but I wouldn't quote me on that.
Okay, well, it's about up there somewhere, and like kind of like targeting on those robots and thinking about which ones you're going to destroy first, and then the other ones, get rid of the other ones. It's a little bit strategic, and I kind of like that.
Strategic blasting shit.
Yeah,
It shouldn't work, but it
Yeah.
does.
yeah, and that's what I like about this level so much.
Yeah.
Not so much the mechanics about which kind of end up with you falling into the water And by the way, Tails and Eggman, I honestly don't care for the way they control, especially when you're locking onto an enemy and they just kind of, their movement becomes very limited.
The thing I notice a lot here that is the way the hover works, and you basically want to make sure you've destroyed all the crates that might possibly be blocking you from landing on a platform, because if you get too close, it might look like you'll be able to get on top of the crate, but you just sort of slide down in front of it as you try to land. That's killed me a good few times, actually.
Yeah. Also, in general, this must be a really difficult weapons bed to maneuver
Oh, you got
for all
the
the
hover.
workers on here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
we got it in
in
the last level.
one.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
And it's in this level that we saw earlier on at the beginning that you get the thing that lets Eggman break these steel crates.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Eggman's version of that. And again, as Flame said before, a solution to an arbitrary problem that, it's not that intrusive, but still, you just gotta wonder why put it in there.
Filler. They went with this idea that they want to have an unlockable in every level, and this was just like an easy one to put a few more in.
Still, I like the environment here. This is basically Metal Harbor, but Eggman. But, like, I like Metal Harbor a lot, so I really don't mind being here again.
Yeah, I do like that they sort of shifted up the gameplay style in like the repeat levels, because they could have easily done like a Sonic version of Metal Harbor and a Shadow version of Metal Harbor,
I agree.
but that would have been kind of repetitive. So instead, they've gave us like a speed version of it and a shooting version of it, and it kind of works out for the best, I think.
Well, as we're going to see in the next episode, that's not necessarily the case for Sonic and Shadow, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I know what ones you mean.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
God, how much money do you think they spent on this stuff?
This is the same government that get like a giant truck to destroy the entirety of like LA or San Francisco even just to chase down one guy.
But to be fair, it's just one like avenue. Like it's like just one long street. It's probably not much of fuck. What was it? No, it's not. Fuck,
San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, this is where all your taxpayers' money is going. We'll see you on the next episode of Deep Thought.